Oh, yo. Oh, yeah. Test.
Izzy, I'm curious, we've been through a lot in your career. Nassourdine Imavov is on the way up the rankings. Is this the first time in your UFC stint that you felt like the veteran?
Yes. I said gatekeeper as a joke early on. Yeah, I feel like the guy, like the old dog, and then there's the young guys coming up trying to, prove themselves. So it's my job to send them back down and let them know, still here.
You're obviously the name guy in this fight, right? You've done this. And some would say, well, the pressure's on you then. Imavov's not meant to beat you. You're the one who's got the reputation. But could you see this in another way where my legacy is already cemented? So there's actually no pressure on me because whatever happens from here on out, I'm good. I'm in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly. I feel, honestly, God forbid, if I lose my next 10 fights, it wouldn't affect my legacy. So I put pressure on myself. Don't get me wrong, when it's time, I'll put pressure on myself. But, if he doesn't feel the pressure, good for him. But, yeah, he'll find out.
In a sense, then, and I'm going based off your reaction to the DDP fight, at this point, are you more interested in performance over victory? You want to go in there and fight the best of your abilities, or is it still, I've got to win?
Nah, just like I said, highlights, performance, being free. Because I know when I do that, it's always victory.
We've been talking a lot about your new friend with Robert Whittaker. He's looked at this fight and he said that Nassourdine's route to victory is to push you against the fence, try and get the back. Is it funny to have this old rival now throwing you tips and telling you, Izzy, this is what you've got to avoid? How's it,
No, it's cool. I like it because who better to know, my style than someone I've already fought multiple times. And, yeah, I love it,
We talk about MMA as being one of these rapidly evolving sports, right? Now here you are, you're the veteran, you're fighting the young guy in Nassourdine. But do you see anything in his game that's like, oh, this is a potential evolution that I haven't fought before? Or do you look at him and think, no, I think I've got this covered?
I'll find out. From what I see so far, there's nothing that he brings that I haven't seen before. I think his best attribute is his speed. Yeah, his speed, his counters. But I've seen that before. And again, it's up to him to show me something I haven't seen before.
Thanks.
Hey, Izzy, how are you?
Yeah.
Welcome to KSA. Izzy, quick question for you. We know, MMA is not a team sport. However, we know that it takes a team to make a champion. With yourself no longer holding the belt, Volk in the same way, the title run for Kai Kara kind of coming to a halt. How has the team morale been in general? Is that something that has affected you think, or the team in a negative way, or has it lit a fire under you guys in terms of city kickboxing?
It hasn't affected us at all. We don't live or die by accolades. It's more about performances and getting better as a gym as a whole, and we're still progressing. So it hasn't dulled our shine in any way.
Outside of your potential reclaiming the title for a third time, who would you say out of city kickboxing is probably likely to hold a title next?
Kai Kara France.
What about Ulberg?
Yeah, he's right up there. 2 more fights and Ulberg's champion of the world. But
Amazing.
Kai is his next fight is for the belt, and I think he'll be the next one to claim a belt from CKB.
Amazing. Last one for you. We know this is not your first time in Saudi. Obviously, there is a heavy contingent of pro Imavov fans. Have you felt any differently than the last times you've been here where maybe you were not necessarily fighting? Is it a bit different this time around, or is it same as always?
No, same as always. The people here are always respectful. I haven't even felt people against me in any way. So, yeah, I'm used to it, though. I mean, I've been around the world. I've been in enemy territory. I've been on home turf-ish. So, yeah, same shit, different day.
Thanks for your time, Izzy. Best of luck.
Shukran.
Izzy, first of all, I'm sorry for my English.
Yeah.
He was training with Robert Whittaker, and maybe you or Robert understand right now have to beat Khamzat Chimaev because his wrestling is so deep.
Yeah, he's really good. When he fought Rob and he beat Rob, That was one that made me go. Well, when he fought Gilbert Burns was the one I had respect for him. I was like, okay, he's got that dog in him. He can fight. He can dig deep, and he can still swing. But then when he fought Rob and beat him the way he did, it made me take a notice. Like, okay, you gotta be careful with this guy. Watch out for this guy. And yeah.
We are live, and a lot of followers from Russia asked you, do you want to change your division and go to light heavyweight?
No.
Try to.
I've always said that was a side mission, so middleweight's my weight class, and it's kind of boring without me, so it's time to get back in there and make it fun again.
And your prediction about Ankalaev and Pereira fight?
Boatan, Shama.
Thank you.
Oh.
Hi, Izzy. How are you?
I'm very well. Hello.
I have 2 questions for you. How does it feel to be fighting in front of the Saudi crowd for the first time?
I've been in the Saudi crowd for fights, and I'll say this: the Saudi crowd is different from other parts of the world I've fought in. They are less rowdy, but very respectful and appreciate the fighters. So I look forward to giving them a show this weekend.
Perfect. And my second question is, if you could challenge any anime character to a fight, a UFC fight, which one would it be?
Rock Lee.
Sorry,
Taijutsu.
again?
Rock Lee. Taijutsu.
Thank you. And this is from my brother. He says that you are the goat of UFC. So thanks.
Shukran. Appreciate it, bro.
Izzy, Tom here from Australian MMA. Just wondering your thoughts on Khan Offley and what we can expect to see from him this weekend.
Khan's a beast. Khan's a guy that, he's in your face. He really knows how to flow and throw a lot of damage at people. So this camp me and him did together. I'm glad he came through. And yeah, he pushed me. Yeah, he pushed me a lot on the physical stuff when it comes to hill sprints and endurance. I've been on my son. But yeah, Khan's a beast, man, and I can't wait for him to kick it off this weekend.
Yeah, sweet. So just to clarify, you didn't have anything to do with Khan before this camp?
He's come to the gym a few times. Me and Khan are friends through the fight game, and this is our first camp we've done together. But he's been to the gym before. We've helped him with camps in the past, and yeah, he's a cool dude.
Yep. So his performance on the Ultimate Fighter didn't surprise you at all? That was expected?
Nah, he's a beast. Yeah.
Thanks, Izzy.
Hey, Izzy. Hey, man, how are you doing?
I'm very well.
We all people love in the documentary movies and in the books, these stories when the hero comes back from the defeat and proves to the whole world that he is so special. You already proved in the fight with Poatan that you are so special, and what you feel in front of this important fight for you?
This is an important fight for me, but it's for me. Like I said to Oscar before, I could lose my next 10 fights and it wouldn't, dim my history or anything. But this fight is important for me, not for anyone else. I'm doing this to prove to myself, I'm still involved in this game. I'm still getting better and I'm still very dangerous. So, yeah, I'm doing this one for me.
There are a lot of champions in this world, but so less legends. What's the difference between the champion and the legend?
That's a good question. That is a good question, man. Hold up, give me a second. That's a good question. What's the difference between a champion and a legend? People throw legend around all the time. You're a legend. Yeah, legend. I always just tell them one day. Because I understand what I've done in this game, but I'm still in it. So, yeah, I say one day I will be a legend. But to be a legend, what do you have to do? I think champion definitely isn't just defined by the belt. There's guys in this game that I consider them champions, and they've never held a belt. But a champion is defined by character in and out of the octagon, in and out of the cage, the way they fight, the way they carry themselves. It doesn't have to be some fake bullshit, fake humble, holier than thou. role model. Nah, I'm talking like someone who's real, someone who keeps it real. A champion, a legend goes beyond that. I'd say a legend in the game has to do with longevity. I'd say longevity or impact. What kind of impact have you had on the game? Yeah. And a champion, I'd say, is just how you carry yourself in and out of the cage. And a legend is the kind of impact, long-lasting impact you've had on the game. Thanks for that question. That was a good one.
And the last question for me, champ. Where is the more difficult to get the victory? In the cage or in the life?
Ooh, that's a good one. This guy, I like your question so far. In life, I have a lot of victories in life, a lot of defeats in life. What's more, I can get a win in life if I need to. There's many easy wins you can get in life. But the meaningful ones, the ones that really mean something, they kind of come out of nowhere. They surprise you. I'd say it's easier to get a victory in the cage because that's something I can control. There's a lot of variables in life that I can't control, so sometimes I take L's in life.
And we are waiting your another outstanding comeback, sir.
Thank you. Shukran.
Good luck.
Israel, over here. Your opponent is French, but he's originally from Dagestan. You already fought a Dagestani guy in the beginning of your pro MMA career. So the question is, you probably know that your opponent has a Dagestani wrestling threat, you know? What would be your response for that?
I'll wrestle.
Out-wrestle him.
Yeah.
That's good.
I can wrestle too. That's why I became champion of the world. You can't just be a kickboxer. If not, every boxer or kickboxer will come in here and become champion of the UFC. So yeah, I just make it look like I can't wrestle, but I can.
I've talked to Shara Bullet, and he basically says that fighting you would be harder for him than fighting a champ, Dricus du Plessis. You know, what do you make of his words, and what do you make of potentially fighting Shara Bullet?
MVP will handle that this weekend, but him saying that I'm a more difficult fight, if that's what he thinks, sure. But he had a cool knockout last time. That was cool, the double spinning back fist. That was cool, but he's still, climbing the ranks. He said I ducked him back in kickboxing. I never heard of him until I saw him in the UFC. I don't duck anybody. But yeah, cool knockout though. But this weekend he's got a tough fight with MVP. So yeah, that's gonna be fireworks.
I just wonder what do you make of his fighting style? Because aren't you excited to bang him? You know.
That's what I said. This weekend he's gonna have a cool fight with MVP because they're two dynamic strikers, and yeah, I look forward to it.
Thanks.
Izzy, I'm intrigued. You mentioned a moment ago that this win on Saturday would be for yourself. Mm-hmm. Where would you rank this in comparison to your many title victories in the past?
Just because there's not a belt on the line, I don't want to diminish this fight like it's not important. This is still an important fight for me. And again, I'm saying I'm doing this for myself. I'm kind of being selfish. Like, I fight for myself, I fight for my team, my family, and my real fans. But this one, I'm putting myself first. I'm trying to do this one for myself. So it's really important to me. But you might have to ask me after the fight or after the victory, and I'll be able to tell you. But it's an important fight. I'm not looking past Imavov. I've not thought of anything past Imavov or set anything up. I just want to get this done and get the victory.
And what are you kind of chasing at the moment? I know you talk about greatness and legacy a lot. Is it becoming a 3-time champion? And if so, would you put yourself in the picture for the greatest? If so, if you get that status?
I'm not really chasing anything. I don't really need anything. I'm just doing what I want. I want to keep fighting at a high level because I'm really good at it, and I get paid really well to do it. And again, the belt, always spins the block. It always comes back around. Just doing what you do, go in there, win, and it happens. But yeah, I don't really need anything. I'll just doing what I love.
Out of interest, who's in your MMA Mount Rushmore?
Someone asked me that. I think it was Oscar. Did you ask me? No. Someone else asked me that this week. Mount Rushmore, I'll give you, like, again, Demetrius, Anderson, Silva, John Jones. I'd say Conor because of the impact he had in the game. And I want to put GSP up there as well, just because of the champion he was in and out of the octagon. But again, that can switch. I had Chuck Liddell in there yesterday because of the impact he had in the game as a fighter. But yeah, you know, it's all hearsay.
Final one from me. Stylebender, the film, in the UK, people still haven't been able to see that. Is there ever going to be a premiere or something of the like?
Look, I was looking at my manager. The problem was, I think it was short-sighted on the sales team's part. Sometimes I have to remind New Zealand, because again, New Zealand mentality sometimes, you've heard of tall poppy syndrome and that shit. They think too locally, and I'm like, I'm not local, I'm global. So when it dropped, the movie should have dropped worldwide, but they did a Australasia release first. I don't know why, I can't remember, but you guys will see it soon. Again, it's a for me, I don't even. If it's not about me, if it's another protagonist, I think it's a great movie to watch. I think it's a great movie for not just men. There's a picture I have of a lady, someone sent it to me, on the plane watching the movie and knitting, and it just shows this movie can affect or makes anyone feel something, because it's the most honest I've ever been on camera about my life so far. But yeah, we'll make sure on a streaming platform you guys get it soon. Because again, I think it's a really good movie to watch, even if it's not about me.
Thank you.
Easy. I think that a lot of questions will be shocked when they saw this conference, because you didn't mention Khabib Nurmagomedov in your top 5.
Habib, he's one of the greatest. Yeah, of course. Like I said, yesterday I mentioned Chuck Liddell. You know, Khabib's another guy who's one of the greatest of all time. He's never lost in the game. He's a guy, even now as a coach, fucking unreal. And I've heard he's crazy in the gym.
And Dana White's popular question, famous question, who is the number 1 pound for pound right now, John Jones or Islam Makhachev? Sorry, Dana.
Fuck. John Jones walks out of the room. I don't know. Yeah, I think John Jones is the guy, because again, longevity. What I'm saying, longevity. Staying on top for this long. I had a long reign as a champ, you know, and he's done it now in 2 weight classes. So it'd be hard to deny him as the greatest of all time. But yeah, ask Dana. Dana will tell you.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you guys. Over here.
Oh, wait, just one more. This guy's been waiting. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, one more.
Thank you. I'm gonna tell you that we are really happy to have you here.
Shukran.
Last year, you have the chance to meet one of the greatest athletes of all time, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And you both had a conversation. Can you tell us more about it?
We just talked very, very briefly, casually, and then we just mentioned Volk. He said, is he okay? I was like, yeah, he's good. He's in good spirits. And yeah, just boy chat. But yeah, shout out to Cristiano Ronaldo.
You mentioned in your video with Robert Whittaker that you are in a different stage of your career now. What do you mean by that?
Like I said, just in life, in my career as well. I feel just very sure of myself, and I'm still learning a lot about myself. But again, I feel free. And like I said earlier to Homeboy's question, I don't really need anything from this game. It's just doing what I want or doing what I love. My ikigai.
Yeah, thank you.
Shukran. Thank you, guys.
Nassourdine, I'm sure when you got into this sport, you always intended to fight the best of the best. But when they presented Israel's name to you, is there a moment where it's a bit surreal to think, oh, I'm finally here at the top of the division, ready to fight the guys I've been watching on my way up?
Je suis sûr que depuis que tu es arrivé dans ce sport, tu as toujours voulu combattre les meilleurs. Pour autant, quand on t'a annoncé un combat contre Israel Adesanya, est-ce que ça semblait un petit peu surréaliste d'affronter une telle légende?
Surréaliste, non, parce que après une année 2024, je m'attendais un peu à ce qu'on me propose un gros nom. Mais sinon, ouais, j'étais très très content, hein. On a posté la photo juste après sur la story et vous voyez nos sourires avec mon équipe. Donc ouais, j'étais très content.
I wouldn't say surreal because after 2024 and the victories, I was expecting something like that. Even though I was expecting it when I got the news, I was very happy. I posted a picture on my Instagram showing how happy I was. And right now, I can't wait for this fight to be happening.
A fight is a fight, and you can't give your opponent too much respect. But have you allowed yourself to think what a win over him and having his name on your record would feel like? You know, when you eventually retired, to look back and be like, oh, I fought this guy, legend of the division, and I beat him. Have you thought what that might be like?
Un combat, c'est un combat et tu peux pas trop respecter ton adversaire. Pour autant, est-ce que tu as pensé à l'après, si tu bats cette légende, l'impact que ça aura sur ta carrière et ce que les gens pensent de toi?
Bien sûr, ça va surtout me rapprocher de mon objectif pour lequel je m'entraîne tous ces temps-là. Donc bien sûr, je suis très excité.
Of course, the main thing is going to get me closer to my goal, which is to fight for the belt. And so I'm very excited about that.
I know that you watched Israel's fight against Dricus du Plessis. There's some thought that maybe, you know, he's starting to slow down his career, that maybe he's on the decline. When you watched that fight, did he look as good as he ever looked, or how did you think his performance was in that fight?
Je suis sûr que tu as regardé le combat contre DDP. Certains disent que Israel Adesanya est sur le déclin. Qu'est-ce que toi t'en as pensé?
Qu'est-ce que j'en ai pensé? Je pense pas qu'il est fini. Pas du tout. On a vu le combat. Il gagnait même le combat. Il était en très très bonne forme. Donc voilà, maintenant on s'en fout. Enfin, je me focalise pas qu'il soit en forme. C'est le plus important. C'est moi, je suis en forme. Donc je me focalise sur ça. Mais j'espère qu'il va venir en meilleure forme, déterminé.
Yeah, you know, I don't think he's getting older. I mean, if you look at the fight against DDP, he was doing very well. In my opinion, he was winning the fight before the submission. So I think he's going to come very focused, very hungry. Even though I don't focus too much on himself, I focus more on myself and what I'm going to do, the shape I'm going to be in the fight. And I hope he's going to be in the best shape so I can beat the best Israel Adesanya.
Israel's new friend and training partner, Robert Whittaker, broke down the fight, and he said that your route to victory is to push Izzy against the cage, get the back, and go for the choke. You know, I'm sure you have your own strategies in here, but when you hear that, do you laugh and think, oh, Rob thinks that he has me figured out?
Robert was saying that?
Yeah, Whittaker said that.
That was the goal for Nassourdine.
He said for Nassourdine to win, that's what he should do.
Oh, yeah. So, ce qui se passe, c'est que Robert Whittaker, lui, ce qu'il pense que c'est la stratégie idéale pour toi pour gagner ce combat, c'est de le pousser contre la cage, l'amener au sol et ensuite le soumettre. Qu'est-ce que tu en penses?
Une très bonne stratégie. Maintenant j'ai ma stratégie à moi qu'on a travaillé avec mon équipe pendant des mois. Donc voilà, ce sera une surprise au combat. Je pense que ça pourrait marcher aussi, ouais. La sienne.
Very good strategy. Now I have my own that I work on for months with my team. So on the day of the fight, I'm going to apply my own strategy, even though, you know, Robert's strategy could be working very well.
Assalamu alaikum, Nassourdine.
Alaikum salam.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Alhamdulillah. Nassourdine, we've heard Dana say that he believes that, or he thinks, or he said that Hamza Chimaev will be next for the title. Do you think a spectacular win over Izzy Adesanya gets you to skip Hamza and you go straight to fighting with Dricus?
On a entendu que Dana White disait que c'était possible que ce soit Hamza Chimaev qui combatte pour le titre après qui s'affrontent, Strickland et DDP. Est-ce que tu penses qu'avec la victoire contre Israel Adesanya, tu peux directement aller combattre pour le titre?
Est-ce que je pense après le combat, taper assez rapidement, après on a...
Un peu cette relation que tu as au sparring et pourquoi tu aimes bien aller un peu en guerre au sparring, mais pour te sentir prêt pour le combat.
Pourquoi est-ce que j'aime bien? Je sais pas, j'aime juste les sparring durs. Mais voilà, faut pas en abuser avec les sparring durs. Parce que sinon, la fin de carrière, ça va être hardcore. Donc non, j'aime bien. Il faut, je pense qu'au combat, c'est ce qui se rapproche le plus de combat. Au combat, ça sera pas à la touche. Et c'est différent quand tu vois un coup arriver de loin avec une grimace pour t'arracher la tête et un coup léger à l'entraînement. C'est pas pareil, c'est pas la même réaction. Donc j'ai envie de me mettre au maximum pour que ça soit comme au combat. Et c'est pour ça qu'il faut des sparring durs. Mais comme j'ai dit, pas tout le temps. 2-3 fois par semaine. C'est bien. 2, ouais. C'est vrai que c'est déjà beaucoup. Ah ouais, c'est beaucoup. Ouais, bon, allez, 2 fois. Mais moi, j'ai fait 3. Mais 2 fois, ça suffit. Même une, en vrai.
Et c'était comment les sparring à Killcliff?
Très très bien. Excellent. Ben, là-bas, par exemple, on s'arrachait un peu la tête. Donc, ouais, c'est tout ce qu'on recherchait. Franchement, c'était bien. Ben, il y a eu des sparring durs, il y a eu des sparring légers, techniques. Franchement, j'ai bien aimé mon séjour là-bas.
Et dernière question, là, tu as trouvé ta manière idéale de procéder, dans le sens où là, tu peux maintenant aller faire des sparring à Killcliff pour avoir différents types de sparring partners, etc. Quand tu es en France, tu as ton camp qui est bien organisé. Est-ce que maintenant, tu as, entre guillemets, le fonctionnement idéal pour toi?
Exactement. Maintenant, j'ai mes repères. Quand je suis hors de la préparation, hors de camp, je peux voyager là-bas, faire mes entraînements là-bas pour prendre de l'expérience avec différents sparring, parce qu'il y a énormément de combattants à mon poids. Et puis, quand il y a la préparation, revenir en France, et comme on a fait là, c'est l'idéal.
Et pardon, toute dernière question en fait. C'est quel adversaire qui t'exciterait le plus de le combattre? Est-ce que c'est Khamzat parce que invaincu, parce que le mec est un monstre? Est-ce que c'est Udricus parce que c'est une machine? C'est lequel qui t'exciterait le plus?
Ce qui m'exciterait le plus, c'est combattre pour la ceinture. Ça. Mais en termes d'adversaire, déjà, il y a Adesanya que je vais combattre samedi.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Насsourdine, приветствую. Я справа от тебя. Вот. Приветствую. Есть ощущение, что сейчас, хоть ты и находишься в главном бою вечера, бой Шары Буллета и Майкла Венома Пейджа обсуждают больше, и медиавнимание к нему приковано больше. Как ты к этому относишься, и как думаешь, после боя изменится ли положение?
Right now, there's an opinion about the fact that you are fighting the main event, but there's a co-main event, which is Shara Bullet versus Michael Venom Page, and it seems as though that fight is actually getting more attention than the main fight. Do you think that that's fair, and do you think that after your fight with Izzy, this opinion will change?
Никак. Я не уделяю на это времени. Уделяю больше на подготовку, на тренировки и так далее. Я не гонюсь за хайпом, что-то ушло. Просто хочу драться. И мой Люда говорит là-bas, mon but, objectif.
Цель, моя цель.
My focus, voilà. Mon goal, my goal est за пояс, драться за пояс.
Yes, I don't think about it at all. I spend time just training and focusing on my own fight. I'm not trying to chase hype or popularity. My goal is to fight for the belt.
Ислам Махачев и его тренер Хавьер Мендес сказали, что он может достаточно спокойно перейти в вашу весовую категорию, в средний вес, 84, и побить Дрикуса Дюплюси. Как ты считаешь, Ислам Махачев сможет забрать пояс в средней весовой категории?
Islam Makhachev and his coach Javier Mendes said that it was going to be pretty easy for Islam to move up to middleweight and beat Dricus Duplessis for the belt. Do you think that it's going to be easy for Islam to cross over to your weight category and potentially fight for the belt?
Да, конечно. Все возможно. Он сейчас дерется на 70, но лучше бы идти потихоньку, 77, потом 84. Но ментально видно, что чемпионский фокус. Так что это и нужно иметь для чемпиона. Хорошо.
Yeah, definitely. I think he can do that, but I think right now he's a lightweight right now, so I would take it step by step. If I need to go up, I would go to welterweight first, then to middleweight. But obviously, mentally, he seems to be very prepared and he's got the skill to do it.
Победа над Исраэлем Адесанья поднимет тебя на вторую строчку рейтинга лучших средневесов планеты, но при этом Дана Уайт хочет, чтобы за пояс дрался Хамзат Чимаев, и ему, в принципе, нравятся такие громкие истории, плюс есть Шарабулит, в котором тоже он видит большой потенциал. Как ты относишься к тому, что ребята с большими медиахватами, с большей вероятностью получают титульные бои, чем там трудяги, которые стоят в рейтинге выше?
If you win over Israel Adesanya this Saturday, you'll most likely get the number 2 ranking. So there's also such guys as Hamzat Chimaev, there's guys as Shara Bullet, and those are the guys that sometimes because of their media presence, because of how popular they are, because of the hype that's behind them, they get the chance to fight for the belt. What is your opinion about that? Do you think that it should be the people that are most popular in the media or the people that work hardest?
Как я отношусь насчет этого? Никак. Никак. И в этом положении, как бы он, как я сказал, хорошо выступил против Уитакера, и он заслуживает тоже пояс. Так что посмотрим, или же он, или же я, или кого выберет UFC.
You know, I think that he had an amazing performance against Robert Whittaker, and maybe he deserves it as well. And whoever the UFC picks, whether it's him or me or whoever else, it's up to the UFC, and we'll see what happens.
Ассаламу алейкум, Насруддин. А допускаешь вообще такую мысль, как бой с Чимаевым, чтобы определить главного претендента, так скажем? Если да, то какие слабости видишь в игре Хамзата, так скажем?
Have you ever thought about a potential fight between you and Hamzat to figure out who's the number 1 contender for the middleweight fight for the championship? And if so, do you see any weaknesses in Hamzat's game?
Допускаю, я больше фокусирован на этот бой против Адесаньи. Это у меня соперника предложили уже 2 месяца назад, 2,5. И я только был фокусирован на нем. И я не, brûler les étapes. Да, не хочу перепрыгивать. Хочу концентрироваться на моем сопернике, и потом уже будет видно.
Yeah, I mean, potentially, but I've been given this fight. I'm concentrating on this fight. I was told about this fight over 2 months ago, and this is what I trained for. Right now, this is the focus. This is what I prepared for. And then at this point, I don't want to think about jumping anything forward. For now, we got to fight on Saturday, and then we'll figure out what's next.
Шон Стрикланд перед боем с тобой говорил, что французы, имея в виду тебя, хороши в том, чтобы заводить романы и сдаваться. Тебя не удивляет, что парень даже не знает о твоем происхождении, о том, что у тебя дагестанское происхождение?
Sean Strickland was quoted to say that the French people are good for romantic relationships and giving up. So, do you think that this guy who doesn't even know where you come from is saying all these things about the French?
Мне как бы плевать, что он думает, что он говорит. Я не обращаю на это внимания. Он очень много болтает, очень много говорит грязных вещей. Я даже не смотрю, что он вообще говорит. Не допускаю это, как бы, свои мысли. Просто хочу с ним реванш. Мы уже дрались однажды. Сейчас хочу провести реванш. И за это надеюсь, что он выиграет свой бой.
Nas, est-ce que tu peux la refaire en français, s'il te plaît? Désolé.
Je la refais en français.
Si tu peux.
En fait, la question, je la reprends pas. Hein. C'est, en fait,
Oui, c'était par rapport à Strickland, oui.
Ouais, Strickland, en gros, il dit que... il dit de la merde, en fait. Il passe son temps à dire de la merde dans des interviews et je m'en fous complètement de ce qu'il dit. Et même, je regarde même pas ses interviews, il y a trop de saleté. Et je fais pas attention à ça, je veux juste ma revanche. Et puis voilà, c'est pour ça j'espère qu'il va gagner son combat.
To be honest, I don't give a crap about what he says. He talks a lot of shit. He says a lot of dirty things. He doesn't really know what comes out of his own mouth. So I don't really think about what he says and all of his expressions and all the things that he puts out there. What I want is a rematch with him. We fought before, and I'd like to rematch with him, and that's it. And I don't really concentrate on whatever comes out of his mouth.
Насурдин, доброго дня, приветствую вас. С тех пор, как вы поменяли тренерский штаб, у вас объективно дела пошли в гору, и это сказывается на ваших результатах. А что фундаментально изменилось в тренировочном процессе, чтобы вы вышли на новый уровень?
Since you changed your team, there's a lot of you can see a lot of improvement in your game and in the way you've been prepared. But to be exact, if you can say, what things specifically have you changed? What things specifically are you working on that's making you improve in such a way?
Что поменялось? Многое что. Многое что. Вся команда концентрирована на меня. У всех одна же цель. Все идем в ту же сторону. И это много меняет. Меняет подготовки, каждая деталь. Больше, как уровень, больше она поднимается, больше как на деталь, да? Ну, детали много работаем, и вот это свои слабые стороны, сильные стороны и так далее.
What changed? Everything changed. I mean, now the entire concentration of the entire team is concentrated on me. We're working on specific things that are good for me. We're looking at small details and concentrating on all the things that need to be improved on. So basically everything's changed, and I'm the focus of the team, and they're helping me with everything.
В сюжете ESPN вы сказали, что если этот бой с Адесаньей пройдет в стойке, это будет сумасшедшая война. Но если бой перейдет в партер, то это быстро все закончится. Что на душе? Устроить настоящую войну для зрителей или спокойненько закончить все на земле и идти дальше?
On ESPN, you were quoted to say that if we're going to continue standing up in this fight, there's going to be a real war. But if it goes down to the ground, then it's going to be a very easy night and a very hard night for him. So what do you think you want to do? Do you want to really show the spectators the war, or do you want to finish the night really quick and go home?
Не знаю, пока что еще думаю. Устроить войну, дать зрителям, что они хотят, или же... Я так, как есть серьезно. Как получится? Я все равно хочу зрелищный бой. Знаю, что фанаты это любят, UFC это любят. Хочется. Но все равно по первые 2-3 раунда будет бой со стойки, так что увидите хороший бой.
What should I do? Should I make a real war? I don't know. To be serious, I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll have to see how the fight goes. Obviously, all rounds start from standing up, so we'll have to fight, and we'll have to see what the mood's going to be like.
Спасибо большое, удачи в бою.
Спасибо.
Hi, Imavov. How are you? My question for you is, you've earned a reputation for yourself as a well-rounded and calm person in the octagon. If you could train in any martial art or combat sport that you've never tried before just for fun, which one would it be and why?
T'es connu pour être un combattant complet. Si tu pouvais t'entraîner dans un art martial dans lequel tu t'es jamais entraîné, ce serait lequel et pourquoi?
Dans un art martial que je ne me suis jamais entraîné. Qu'est-ce que ça peut être?
Après, peut-être qu'une question plus intéressante, entre guillemets, c'est si tu avais dû combattre ou faire des compétitions dans une autre discipline, ce serait laquelle? Dans une des disciplines du MMA?
Ok. Le grappling, j'aime bien le grappling. Le JGB, pourquoi pas? J'aime bien tous ces... Tu passes les grades, tu fais des compétitions. Ouais.
I already trained in those sports, but I could have been competing probably in grappling or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because I like this sport.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
If the UFC gave Khamzat Chimaev the next title shot and you win this fight, are you going to wait for your chance or you going to stay busy?
Si le prochain combat pour la ceinture, c'est Khamzat contre le gagnant et que toi, tu dois attendre, est-ce que tu vas attendre ou est-ce que tu vas combattre en attendant?
Ça, on va en discuter avec mon équipe, mais moi, je préfère de rester actif, de combattre. J'aime pas stagner, donc probablement, je vais combattre.
We will talk about it with my team, but I will probably keep fighting just because I like it. I like to keep fighting and keep progressing. That's the way I live.
Thank you.
Thank you.